So after putting this project together, what differences do you see between the young musicians of the NB Youth Orchestra and the young musicians in Venezuela?
Well, kids are kids, and I think that's what I got out of this experience, is all these little kids in New Brunswick who come from considerably better socioeconomic backgrounds. They still play with each other, they're having fun, they have the same issues that the kids in Venezuela have. We're just talking about two different economic realities. What I saw over the last 2 years of the kids were, they're grade 2 and grade 3, right? So you get a bunch of those kids in one room, it's madness. So at the beginning of this, it was just like one teacher and a couple of high school helpers trying to like manage the insanity of all these kids' behavior and just, all this. And now they're little musicians. And in the film, you can actually see their progress to playing Twinkle, Twinkle, Little Star, and, all of these. And then at the end, they play Ode to Joy. And it's really neat to see kids learn music so quick. And strings, it's incredible.
Do you find that the kids from the lower socioeconomic background practice harder because they have more to gain, or did you not see that kind of difference?
I thought that maybe I would see something like that, but no. It's there's kids from multiple, from a varied economic background in the New Brunswick program, and. I'm sure the teachers would probably be able to answer that a little bit more, but from what I saw, there was kids from a little bit wealthier families who were really, really good, and some kids there's this one child who's on the front cover of the DVD, and he's got a single mom and low financial resources, and he's just giving it his all. Like he's not the most trained violin player in the whole group, but my gosh, he's probably one of the most passionate. So it's the way I'm seeing it is these kids, they don't know those boundaries or those differences. They're just a bunch of kids, and they're learning music, and they think it's cool because their friends are doing it.
Cool. What do you think viewers will learn from it's Sistema Revolution?
Yeah. Viewers will learn a couple things. One, that we can create revolutions here in New Brunswick as New Brunswickers. If someone has an idea, there are ways of actually seeing, full communities change because of that one person's idea. They're going to learn that kids have the capability to do anything. They're also going to learn that hope comes in a whole bunch of different forms, and in this case it's music. Music is really quite empowering, and you can physically see how empowering music is in this documentary.
Why do you think Sistema Revolution is so much larger and successful than the after-school orchestra program in New Brunswick?
Okay, well, I think you're talking about the New Brunswick Senior Youth Orchestra. Mm-hmm. Very successful orchestra, wins international awards. They are the cream of the crop. Like if you look at youth orchestras across the country, the New Brunswick it's one of the best. But as it's put out in the documentary, that is for high achieving, merit-based musicians. So if you're not a good musician, you can't get in. You have to be the best of the best to even be considered to be part of the orchestra, and that's why it's such a good orchestra. Where the Sistema program is the complete opposite. It's got nothing to do with your skill coming in. If you have a desire or a need, you get in. So it's two totally different programs under the same umbrella, serving not two different types of kids at all, but two different outcomes. One is to really nurture the skilled musician, and that's the senior orchestra. And the other one is turning into a feeder into that, and that's open to everybody. There's no boundaries.
Cool. The journey of the New Brunswick Youth Orchestra leaders to Venezuela seems to kind of be the beginning of this story, and I'm wondering if we can expect a follow-up documentary from you down the road.
Well, I tried to do I pitched a follow-up documentary because I saw there was this really cool program that funded documentaries up to $100,000 on films like this. And I was like, ooh, I've got a perfect follow-up. And that is the St. John story. Because it's happening, the school is just outside the rifle range in St. John, and the rifle range is certainly one of the harsher places to grow up as a child. And I was going to take a totally different spin on it. Like I wasn't going to explore the Latin American roots or anything. I was just going to explore this kind of inner ghetto music program being started in a place that's really forgotten in our city. But I didn't get funding for that one, unfortunately. But you never know. I'm on the board of directors now for the youth orchestra, so I'm close to the story. And if the opportunity arises to do more, definitely. Yeah.
Nice. So finally, I'd like to ask you a little bit about Silverwave. I'm wondering how important Silverwave is to your film's distribution. Well,
Silverwave, I've been coming here since it was Tidal Wave. I think it was changed for a good reason. I think it was changed because of the tsunami.
Yes.
Which is very respectful.
Yes.
Respectable, I should say. So I was here. I think I was here at the first Silverwave Film Festival. So for me, it's it's really got nothing to do with distribution at all here. But what this is my ability to, the opportunity for me to share with all my friends and colleagues what we've been doing, and vice versa. So I can come and see what everybody else in New Brunswick is doing, because we don't get to do that very often.
No.
So for me, this is just a way for us to solidify ourselves as a, as a scene, as an industry, and that it's empowering in itself. But not specifically. It's not a place for me to find ways to get my films on television or anything like that. But it is for other people, which is great. There's people here that can say yes to certain people and make things happen.
Yeah.